Welcome to Shauna's world. Yay! Are y'all putting a smile on your face? You should be. It's a beautiful day or evening or afternoon, I hope. Either way, put a smile on your face and smile and get happy. You're up, right? And you're watching my video. Hey! Okay, so I'm gonna do another makeup tutorial with you all. I've already started my eyebrows, and I used Saint Laurent Culture Brow. I love this stuff, I do, but unfortunately I'm really down to the last bit, and I don't know, I haven't been able to find this Culture Brow anywhere. I don't know, maybe they're still selling in the States. I don't know, maybe I just didn't have luck. I'm hoping to find it again because I really like it. Goes on really well, and I'm sorry, I still like my thick eyebrows. I can't really get down with the what is it, the gel what is it, gel eyebrows where they go up. I tried it and I don't know, I don't know, it just didn't fit me. It looked horrible. So I believe not all trends are for everybody. Speaking of trends and speaking for everybody, today I'd like to talk about aging. Aging, getting older. Oh my gosh. How many of you guys can relate? Can you relate? Yes, I'm sure you can, because we all have this fear of getting older. And unfortunately, you cannot stop the time. And it is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my MAC brush, and it's an angle brush. I'm just going to say it like that. I use it to apply my concealer around my eyebrows, and I'm going to use my Studio Finish concealer from MAC, and this is the color NC45. So, yeah, getting old. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I personally think, I think it's a beautiful thing. I don't think there's any, I don't think it's any problem with getting old. I know society puts a lot of pressure, especially the media. I mean, every time you turn around, you're seeing or hearing about who's getting old and how they're looking, and especially for women, you know. I think women have a ton of pressure, you know, in general. You know, when you have a baby, you got to get back into shape. You know, when you hit a certain age, you got to be married by this age, because if you're not married by this age, then something must be wrong with you. Or if you're having a baby at 40, it's like, oh my goodness, you know, all this pressure, and it's all around age. I don't know, for me, I also was like, I felt like I was on this time frame, you know, at this certain age, I want to, you know, be here. I want to, you know, have kids, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And if you force it, then you're going to regret it, you know? And that all has to do with this pressure around aging. And I don't know, I don't think our society takes well to it. And that's, I find that a pity. Because like I said, aging, it can be a beautiful thing. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to stop learning, or of course there are some outfits where I can say doesn't look good, but even that, I mean, even the fashion industry also puts pressure. I mean, actually, okay, today things are a lot different. I mean, if I look back 20, 30 years or 40 years ago, or you just look at some of the old programs, I mean, the women 40 and over weren't looking like the women today. I mean, I think back in those days, like after 30, it was pretty much over for you, especially if you were an influencer, you know, if you were a Hollywood star. And I can just imagine like how those women felt. I mean, even today, I mean, imagine you were once like this this, you know, guru or most sexiest woman, whatever, and now you're hitting 50 or 40, and then it's just like, ooh, what happened? She's got a little bulge, she's got some cellulite and whatever else, you know, and that's got to be horrible. I mean, I personally think it's just a part of the package, and there's nothing wrong with getting ood. And it's also a mindset, um, how you how you present yourself. I mean, and how you grew up. I mean, what did you do when you were younger? Were you career orientated? I mean, did you just focus on career in school? Did you get a chance to have fun? You know, I think that also plays a big part of it. If you didn't get it out of your system, this partying and doing whatever when you were younger, and then you get older, and then you try to, you know, you try to relive or try to, you know, do the things that you weren't able to do when you were younger, then it's crappy, right? But actually it's not crappy, because I think as long as you're still on the planet Earth, why not? If you can still walk, and if you can still you know, you still somewhat look good, and today you can you can boost yourself up. You know, there's no need to be looking like you 105 years old. And even I've seen, I mean, look at Cicely Tyson. I mean, she was beautiful. I mean, up to her 90s. I mean, and she didn't let you know, let society dictate to her, you know, how she should be looking. You know, most grandmas today, they're looking hot, you know. I personally, I like the fact of getting old. I mean, if I think about it, I wouldn't want to go back to being in my early 20s. It sucked, I think, because when you, I mean, yeah, it was cool, but then you always had the fear, oh my gosh, I got to do this. You know, there was that pressure. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? You know, at 25, I got to do this. I got to, you know, and then there was already the fear already starting, you know, it was already in you that you have to complete certain things at a certain age. Yes, I definitely believe that, you know, you should, you know, set goals and have deadlines at, you know, at this point of life. I want to be here and there, but I don't know, it's different. I believe it's different for women. I think the pressure's really on, whereas with men, it's not, it's there, but it's not there, you know. It's so unfair, I think. You know, most guys, as they get older, they're seen to be, they're seen as being more attractive and more, yeah, more got it together. And women are, I mean, it's changing, but I still don't think it's not on the level as men are, you know. They can, they still get away with a heck of a lot more than women, I think. I remember when I had first turned 40, and then I was already like, I was like, oh gosh, okay, so how do I act? Can I still do this? Can I still wear this style? You know, I was already worried, you know, although 40 is nothing if you think about it. 30 is definitely nothing. I mean, when I hit 30, I was just like, you know, also, heck, when I turned 25, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm a quarter of a century old. I mean, it's so crazy, because as you keep living, you start to see that, and one says it makes no, especially after 40, you really start to think, "Ugh, whatever." You know, of course, the pressures are on, but I don't let people, you know, tell me how I'm supposed to act, how, you know, what I'm supposed, how I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to dress, you know. I try to be, yeah, I try to stay young in the mind, because I think that's important. And I think that also that happens to a lot of people who are aging, and then they just, the mindset is just, yeah, okay, I'm getting old, and I'm too old for this, and I'm too old for that, and that's crap. You're never too old. I don't see myself as too old. And let me let you in a secret. I'm about to hit 50 this year. And excuse me, I'm going to be partying. I've already said I'm going to rent me a Porsche. Why not? I'm going to do it up. Heck, when I turned 40, I had a big old blast. I had a big old party. I did it for my 30s as well. When I turned 30, I also had a big party. And I even heard people say, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to celebrate my birthday anymore after 30." And I'm thinking, why not? Are you kidding? You should be happy. I mean, you're looking good. And if you're not looking good, then that's your problem. I mean, today there is no excuse, really. There's literally no excuse. Okay, I'm going to use MAC Strobe Cream, my favorite. My go-to everyday base. And this is the color Golden Light. It's just no excuse. You don't have no hair, you can put some hair on your head. That you can buy makeup. There's makeup for all, for everybody. It's affordable today, so you can even get cheap stuff and still be looking good. And then with all the YouTube videos out there today, I mean, you can check out the tutorials, like mine, for example. No, it's just no excuse, and I think it's all in the mind. Here we go again with the mind. This programming, already setting yourself limits, and oh, I can't stand it. I mean, in all honesty, I very rarely or very seldom hang out with people in my age group, because they're boring. I mean, I notice that when people get older, they become boring. I mean, some do. For example, my mom, she was always out and about, going here, going there, and so perhaps I picked that up from her. I have another friend of mine, and she's the same, and she's like around the same age as my mom, which is in the 70s, and yes, 70s. And she's also, got this plan, got this going, got this event. Heck, she knows more than I do. And I just think that is so awesome. I just think they're so awesome. I really feel sorry for people, or for women who are just like, they give up, they let themselves go. I find that really sad. I mean, imagine, if you're living healthy, and you're doing everything, doing your exercise or whatever, and you're 40, I mean, theoretically speaking, the women, they can live up to 80s, 90s. So imagine you got all those years in between, and you're gonna walk around looking like a fool and crazy, and not do anything. I mean, and just sit and stay in your hut. I mean, that's crazy. I can't imagine, really. I just can't even imagine it. If I have to one day go into a crazy home, or not a crazy home, but an old folks home, please let me have some makeup at least. I mean, or somebody do my makeup for me. Why? Why should you let yourself go? Why? I often also hear people say, "Oh, I'm too old. I'm too old to do this. I'm too old." Says who? Who says you're too old? Society says you're too old. Forget society. You're never too old, in my opinion. Okay, Prolong Concealer from MAC NC45. Beauty blender, as usual. No, you're never too old. Sometimes I hear that. Oh, you're too old to do this. You're too old to start a business. Or you're too old to learn that. You're too old to go back to school. And then I get upset. There's certain things where I go deaf. I just don't hear it anymore. I really don't, because I don't want to get that into my head. That's, you really have to block you have to block certain uh, people who are talking negative towards you. You have to block them. You have to put your headphones on. Where my headphones are not here. Wait, nope, they're here. Put your headphones on and put your music up. It works. Trust me. You can't let that stuff, can't let those words get inside you, because you know you might not realize it, but you do start to eventually internalize that, you know, especially might not be in that moment. In that moment you're probably offended, like, who are they? How can they say that I'm too old? But later on you start to think about it, especially, you know, maybe a few months, or maybe you're looking at a program and you start to think about what they're saying. Well, shoot, maybe I am too old. Maybe I should just forget it. No, you're never too old. So many people have become successful after 40, believe it or not. I mean, heck, if you think about it, you don't really start to live and have a little bit of wisdom until after 40. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of young women and men who are extremely smart and wise. But here's the thing with that. They haven't had enough life experience. You know, you can read and you can hang out with older people, but life experience is really part of, how can I explain it? You need that life experience. I mean, you can learn about something, and like I said, you can listen to people, but you need that life experience. And in order to really start to live, some people still don't get it. Even after 50 or 60, they still are making the same mistakes like they did before. Some people just never learn, unfortunately. But in general, I personally think you really start to live after 40, if that makes any sense. That's my opinion. I think you really start to, and 40s even is still kind of young. After 45, perhaps. Maybe after you have kids, and and perhaps I'm gonna say something different. You know, in 10 years later, I'm gonna say, you still don't know anything. You know, I'm still learning. You may think you know everything, or you block, and then you start to see, shoot, I still have a lot to learn. And we all do, and that's why I say you're never too old to stop learning. If there's something that you want to do, why not? Why not? Don't listen to society. Don't let them put this pressure on you that, you know, you can't wear, you know, have a certain look, or, if it looks good, why not? You know, sometimes I kind of hate this age thing. I really do, because it sets borders. It puts up limits. And I think, I don't know, I don't like it. If it were up to me, I wouldn't display or tell an age at all, because I personally think you can learn from any and everybody, in all honesty. Even though that I'm older and I have a lot more wisdom, I think I do. I see myself as having a lot more wisdom and mid-experience. I can still learn from a younger person. I can look back, or I can like think, wow, I wish I was doing that when I was younger, or wow, they have a whole different way of thinking. And that can also be a disadvantage, you know, as you're older. You're so set in your ways, and you're not open anymore You figured you've done there, been there, done that. And it's true, you've been there, done that, and then some. But I still think you should stay open and, oh, excuse me, Huda Beauty. I'm getting carried away again. I like to talk. Okay, Overachiever. And this is the color Peanut Butter. And I'm using my MAC brush 195. Yes. Yeah, you gotta stay open. You can't be closed-minded. I mean, even up to the music. I mean, I remember when I was younger and my mom and I, we definitely had a disagreement on music topics and genres. She did not like my music, and I can't say I didn't like her music, because I mean, when I grew up, I mean, when she was younger, she was listening, she comes from that James Brown era, and that music is just, it's eternal, it's iconic. I think it's for every age group. I mean, who doesn't love James Brown, okay? And I'm trying to think, who else was she listening to back then? Can't think of it right now, but at first it used to get on my nerves, because it was, she was just like, she had to show me all her dance moves and all the, all the hip things that were going on back in her day. But now I have an appreciation for it. And I actually also had appreciation for it back then too. So much so that I was even, when I was in my early 20s, I was really into the vintage scene. I loved the styles from the 70s and from the 60s. And I literally looked like I stepped out of a time zone, because the way I was dressing, and I liked the music. Especially, I loved classic rock. I loved the whole old stuff. So, and I was into antiques and everything. So, where am I going with this? Sometimes I get so carried away. Like, oh, but my point is, stay open. Don't get too set up in your ways and think that you know everything, and think that you can't learn from a younger person, because I really believe that we can learn from everybody. And young people, they're just, they're fresh. They got it going on. They really do. And I see that with my girls. I love their music. I play their music, and you know what? I don't have a problem with playing their music. When I have, especially if I'm in the car with them, or if I'm by myself, I'll turn up some trap music. Why not? Who cares? And that's what I mean. Sometimes I think, people be looking, but there we go again. Who cares what other people think? Just do you. Be happy. If you're getting old, enjoy it. Enjoy every stage of your life. Celebrate it. Don't feel ashamed because you're getting old. It's a beautiful thing. I've heard somebody say that, getting old is like a wine, it gets better by the years, and it's so true, Okay, so I'm going to use my MAC, and this is Studio Fix Fluid, and this is the color NC45. Yes, so getting old is not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing, and yeah, keep your mind fresh, and try to stay somewhat up with the trends. Don't feel ashamed, and don't be afraid to try things out. If there's a new language you want to learn it. It's okay if you're older, and you can learn that language, and don't be afraid to be hanging out with younger people. You'd be surprised how many young people like to hang out with older people. I mean, I know I was one of those types. I loved hanging around older women. I just felt like I could learn so much more from them. I didn't care that much for women in my age, because I thought they were simple-minded, very immature. I guess I was a little bit of an old soul. I mean, I had my witty ways when I was young, but I don't know, I always had this thought, okay, I want to really live my life and enjoy it, because I know one day I am going to get older. And I had mentioned before, sometimes it sucks if you didn't really live and you had all this worry, and then you get older, or you had this doubt, fear, you were scared, and then didn't do what you wanted to do, and now you're older, and I don't know, maybe through the circumstances you might not have the possibility to just pack your bags and go travel, or whatever it might be. I don't know. I say just live and don't let people put their insecurities in you and put their limits of the things that you can and cannot do. I mean, I still wear mini skirts. I mean, okay, not mini skirts, I shouldn't say that, but I don't have a problem with wearing mini skirt up to, maybe not up to my butt, but I'll wear it up to like here or something. I mean, why not? If you have the shape for it and it looks good and it looks classy. I think one thing is very important as an older woman. I think you should have a certain type of class, because I have seen older women and they still look like they came out of the time that they okay, how can I say it? There's some women who look like they're still from the 90s, wearing the makeup and okay, I know all the old trends are coming back, but you know what I mean. It gotta look good. It has to fit. I've gone back and worn like 80 type clothes, but they look classy. And that's another thing too. As a woman, or even as a man, you still have to have a class, a certain type of class. You're getting older, but look classy with it. You can wear some funky things, but make it look classy. So I do believe that there are some limits. Some stuff is just a no-go. I don't know how I would feel if I saw an 80-year-old in a mini skirt and some bright neon makeup. I don't know. Okay, I'm even putting limits, because maybe if it looks good, then shoot, why not? And then we go again with this age. Sometimes I just say, oh, age. It just puts so much limits on you, or they already put you in a certain category. I remember when I was younger, it was like, oh, you're too young to know. Now you're old. Now you're too old to do this. It's like, so I don't even care anymore. Okay, so now I'm going to apply my eyeshadow, and I'm going to use my Anastasia palette, and this is from Aina. Oh gosh, I hope I didn't chuck my name up. I love her. She's a great YouTuber, and I bought her palette like a year ago, and I love this palette. Looks like this, beautiful colors. This is really like one of my go-to palettes. Love her style. So yes, I'm using that, and I'm going to take the color Ginger. This one right here. As you see, I've definitely been getting a lot of use out of it. So what else I wanted to say about getting too old? Yeah. Have you guys noticed, like I was talking earlier, have you noticed like the difference in men and women? Like men, they're always, I had mentioned this before, but they're always seen as to be attractive. The older they get, the more sexier they become. They're more men, and they're powerful and they're provider. Whereas women, it's like, oh girl, don't you do that. You too old to wear that, You just take care, Although I must say, in the entertainment world, a lot of the influencers have changed that way of thinking, but it's still there. It's still out there. I mean, if you look at Madonna, I mean, in all honesty, I was never a big Madonna fan, but I liked some of her music, and I thought she was a woman who made a lot of, excuse me. When I start to talk a lot, my voice is like, ah. Got my water. Honestly, I never thought that she was gonna last as long as she did. Honestly, I thought she's here today and I'm gonna be gone tomorrow. But this woman, I mean, she changed the whole mindset of how a woman is supposed to look in the 40s and the 50s. I mean, she really changed that whole stereotype. I mean, this woman was with 50 and wearing a leotard and doing all types of bends and, you know, yoga moves, you know, and so, I mean, she totally changed that whole image of how women should look and style, and I think it's great. I'm trying to think who else who else did that. Oh gosh, what is her name? I think Vivica Fox. I mean, she looks great. Although there was a certain, I think in her mid 40s, she was looking kind of, I don't know, looked like she had a bit of Botox, but maybe it wasn't. Excuse me, I don't want to put her down because she is a gorgeous woman, but now she just looks classy. She's aged really beautiful. I don't know, maybe she had her moment. I think we all do. We all get to this point where we're like, maybe I need to do this or do that. But if you don't have to, don't. Please, just don't do it. You know, let nature take its course. But I think she changed this. Also changed the mindset or the stereotype. Iman is also a beautiful model. I mean, I can show you pictures of what she was looking like when she was in her 50s. Oh gosh, and I was like, oh, I hope I look like that. Okay, so I'm gonna use this color, and that is Edges. Ooh, Edges. I like that. So I'm gonna use my Urban Decay brush. I just put a little bit there. Who else? Oh gosh, who else? Cicely Tyson, I spoke of her. I think she's a beautiful woman. Oh, also, do you guys remember that movie Sex and the City? Oh, I really did. I thought that show was so cool because all the characters were over 30. Okay, I know that the show is old, but back then when it came out, you know, I started to feel more confident. Okay, media again, but I think that's when it started to change this way of thinking. I think it was early 2000s when Sex and the City came out, or was it late 90s? And that's when the image or the stereotype really started to change, besides Madonna. But you know, when Sex and the City came out, I mean, it was just awesome. I mean, the characters, who was that one? Let me look it up. I got my phone. Who was that character? And she was always, she was something else. Gorgeous woman. I mean, I don't know how she's looking now. Was it? Let's see, Sex and the City. Wait, Sex and the City characters. Samantha. Yes, Samantha Jones. And Carrie was anyway cute. But Samantha, she was the, she was like a sex ball. I mean, I honestly thought she was the hottest on that show. And she was in her 40s, and I was just like, wow, you know, wow, she's looking good. So that, you know, kind of inspired me, you know, to look forward to getting older. I mean, as far as look-wise, you know, because you do have this thought, okay, how am I gonna look? How am I gonna dress? Can I wear this? Can I wear that? So when that show took off, when it came out, it really took off because I'm sure a lot of women could relate. There were enough shows for younger women and younger women are anyway naturally beautiful. Unfortunately, they sometimes don't realize that they're beautiful because they're so busy trying to keep up this mainstream look of, staying pure looking and young and da-da-da-da, but they have no idea that I think a lot of young women have no idea that they're beautiful, and they should enjoy it and embrace it. As you get older, if you have a little wrinkle or a little bag or whatever, you just put some concealer over and it's gone. But yeah, anywho, I'm rambling again. That show was great. I like that show. Let me think, who else? I'm sure it's gonna come back to me later. I even thought Oprah Winfrey aged really well. I thought she was another one. She looked absolutely fabulous. Maya Angelou. She was, I guess, in her late 80s when she died. I'm not sure, but up to then, the woman was looking extremely classy. Just totally stylish. So in that aspect, I must say, those women really, they really put out the blueprint of, you don't have to look like you're lost, You don't have to look crazy when you get over 40 or 45 or 50. You can still be classy and, sexy. I had a talk with my mom the other day. I'm going to use now the color Big Wig. Oh, another person who I thought was just absolutely beautiful, and I still think she's beautiful, is on Housewives of Atlanta, the character Cynthia. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. She aged so beautifully, and up to this day, she just timeless. And as she gets older, she just becomes. Most of the women on Atlanta Housewives, they're gorgeous, and they're all over 35. I believe the youngest is Portia, and she's looking good. So this stereotype, it is starting to change, but I still say it's not enough. It's still not enough. Sometimes if you're watching some of these raunchy shows, and I do, sometimes I watch these raunchy shows and I see women arguing, especially young girls. Okay, I'm going to use MAC, and this is Photogravure. And when I see some of these girls and they're sitting up there arguing, and then they're, the first thing that comes out, oh, you old, and and you so old, and I take your man, and I'm just thinking and laughing to myself, just wait, keep living, it's gonna be you one day, so shut up. Literally, shut up. And oftentimes when a woman gets over, so you don't hear her so much complaining about or trying to put down another woman about them being old now, because now they're older, I think it's so funny. In all honesty, I'm also guilty of it. I remember when my mom had first turned 40, and I gave her an over-the-hill card. Now that I think about it, that was so mean. I didn't do it to be mean. I just had no idea, because if you're in your late teens or early 20s, 40 is old if you think about it. But as you start to creep up the ladder in age, and you start to see, wait a minute, it's all right, it's not that old. But my mom, she just laughed it off, and I thought that was really cool, because she never let those I would say it is negative terms get to her, or let it affect her. She just totally blocked it out. And pretty much I do the same. You know, I also block it out if somebody's telling me, "Ooh, Mom, you can't do that." Or I'm like, says who? You know? Who says that? You know, it's up to me. But anyway, I wanted to say that one time I was having a discussion with my mom, and we were talking about women after a certain age, they're not really considered sexy anymore, and that stuck with me. That really did stick with me because I'm thinking, so that means I can't be sexy anymore, you know, and that really did bother me. Yeah, so the question was, can women after a certain age still be sexy? What do you all think? I'm going to use now my Yves Saint Laurent. And this is the color number 1, Noir Minimal Matte. This is a matte eyeliner, and I like to use this matte eyeliner more so than the glossy. I don't know, I just like the way it looks. I don't like too much gloss on my face. Maybe I'm looking too old if there's some gloss on there. You know what I mean? No, just kidding. Hell yeah, a woman could still be sexy after 40, 45, and 50. I mean, oh my gosh, you know who was a beautiful woman? I mean, I don't know what she's looking like today, and it's okay if she's not looking, but she was gorgeous. I mean, that woman has some good genes. Is Faye Dunaway. Oh, she is so beautiful and such a classy, oh goodness. I mean, or what about Diane Carroll? I mean, and sexy is only in the eyes of the beholder. I mean, do you feel sexy? Well, you can still be sexy. I mean, don't let nobody tell you, oh, after a certain age, you can't be sexy anymore. BS. BS. It's all up here in the mindset. I definitely think a woman can still be sexy. Actually, I think really older women are sexy. I mean, have you guys noticed? I mean, and please be honest. Tell me if it's happened to you. But a lot of younger men, they want to be with older women, in all honesty, and that's not kid around. They do. They find older women extremely attractive. For one, they have the experience. For two, they're beautiful. It's just something about an older woman. They glow. They have a bit of a strong presence. So hell yeah, a woman can still be sexy, and I think even more so than older men. I mean, let's admit, after a certain age, men do kind of go downhill. I mean, I don't know. You have very seldom. I mean, let's be real. I mean, a guy really looks good only if he has money. You know, money won't make you look attractive. You know, maybe make Godzilla look attractive. So you can be 108. I mean, then you can be, wow, he's got a class about him. You know, but let's admit it's only because of the money, right? I mean, there are some exceptions, but I mean, if you look at what's his name, Hugh Hefner. I mean, there was nothing sexy about him, nothing. But I guess because he built this, you know, big empire and he had a lot of money. That's the only reason why he was sexy. George Clooney was looking good, but I don't know. Today I don't know. It's catching up with him. He's starting to lose his sex appeal. But at 40, I mean, he was hot. I mean, with the gray hair. Who was another one? Richard Gere. He was also extremely attractive. I think he started getting his gray hair already in his 30s. And yeah, I mean, there are a handful. They're a handpick of older men who still look good, but in general, not a whole lot. Okay, so no, there's only a handful of guys, a handpick of men who still have that sex appeal, but in general, I mean, that's just a myth that, you know, when men get older, they become more and more, because, I mean, I don't know, there's nothing attractive about a big gut What do you think? A man running around with a big gut looking like he's 9 months pregnant? It's not attractive, you know? And a flabby tail is also not attractive. Sorry, let's be honest here. Okay, so sorry, I had to take a little break. So I have no idea where I was. I think I lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh, I'm getting old. Okay, so who cares? Okay, so Yves Saint Laurent. Let's do the wing look. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do know. I sometimes, and I guess this is normal. I mean, with every age, with every age that you turn that has a 0 at the end, you're always like, you know, how's it gonna be? How should I? You know, there's always a thought behind it. But like I said, it's a beautiful thing. It's nothing to feel afraid of. And I think, in my personal opinion, I think you really start to live after 40 or 45 because you're a little bit more freer. You, like I said, you gain some experience. Yeah, you're a little bit more settled. You're not so much in this, you know, race of, you know, whatever it may be. You're a little bit more laid back. That's not the case for everybody, but I'm gonna speak from, in my case, I feel like I'm a lot more tolerant. I'm not so strict. I mean, I was never really strict. I mean, I'm talking like as a parent or whatever, but I think I don't take things so serious anymore like I used to. I mean, I was just a teeny bit of a hothead when I was younger. I'm gonna go with the color Wig Galalis. Probably pronouncing that wrong. Excuse me, guys. I'm gonna use my Urban Decay brush. This color here. I'm just gonna put it here at the bottom so it can pop and stand out a little bit. It's a really pretty, like a reddish burnt orange color. Look, it matches my shirt. Once again, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I hate that. I don't know if that has anything to do with age. Sometimes I have so many ideas going through my head and it's just gone. I think it's a beautiful thing, and like I said, I don't really think you don't really start to live until after your 40s. I mean, you're a lot, like I said, you're a lot more settled down. You don't take things so serious so much. You don't worry too much about what people say. I mean, some people do still worry. Don't get me wrong, some people still do worry, you know, but as you get older, I mean, it's irrelevant. You know, all those things that you thought that were really such a big deal, as you get older, you see that, oh, that ain't nothing. I mean, all the stuff that I was crying about or depressed about, I had no idea what was ahead of me, and you know, the trip that life is going to take you on, you know. So in that aspect, it's good because, like I said, you experienced it and you don't take it so serious. That's not the case for everybody. I've even heard that a lot of people, when they get older, or some people when they get older, they become really mean, you know. I don't see myself ever becoming mean. Like I said, I was a little bit of a hothead, and I was never really a hothead. I mean, I was, you know, quick to be like, what did you say? You know, what do you mean? You know, you flipped me off? Hey, I got every right here. You know, I can turn this lane too, you know. But as you get older, you learn to pick and choose your battles. So I don't know. All those things that, I mean, now that I look back, I'm just like, oh gosh, I can't believe I was flipping about this. I had no idea what was to come, you know. Real problems can occur, you know. So I sometimes laugh at when I hear young people and the things that they make big deals about, you know. They have no idea. My mom used to say that, and she had heard a saying that the youth is wasted on the young, you know, and it is to a certain extent. Oh, Nars, and this is the color Arouse. This is definitely my go-to blush that I wear every day, and this is my Nars Blush brush. So, oh man, talking so much and my voice is getting cracky crack. I must say, I'm a fitness freak, but I've definitely slowed down a lot because, I don't know, your body does change, you know. I heard that if you always stay fit, that you shouldn't really have problems, but that's not really true. You do, your body does, like, you know, the things that you used to do. And I never really took a pause in working out and doing my fitness. I mean, I'm extremely active, but it happens that my shoulder might go out, you know, or my leg. Yesterday I was on the cross trainer. I think I was on there for an hour. I really got carried away. Excuse me. I was watching something and I was like, I got carried away and I was on there for an hour. And I got off the cross trainer and I could barely walk. I'm like, wait a minute. What is this? You know, body, stay up. Come on now. I feed you good. I take care. You shouldn't be acting like this, but that happens. So, you know, your body does change, you know. I don't care what nobody says. I have a tennis teacher and oh my gosh, he's 70 years old and he still plays tournaments and he wins. And I'm like, dog, how do you do it? And when I'm playing against him, I'm like, this man always tires me out. I mean, his condition is just immaculate. I mean, it's like, dog, how do you do it? You're 70 years old. I mean, I feel embarrassed. I really do. I'm thinking, man, I'm younger than you and I'm already out of breath. What is going on here? But that's crazy. I mean, some people do have like wonder bodies. They just, I don't know what they're eating. You have to give me that temper secret. Okay, so now I'm going to use my MAC, and this is iridescent powder. And I use this as my highlighter. It's a loose powder, so get your little brush and just tap it out. And just lightly, I like to put a little bit on my nose, have a little bit of glow. Even though I must say with these masks, once you put that mask on, it's gone. But it's for you, okay? It's for you. Everything you do is for you. So just tap it out and just put a little bit on the side. It really brings out your makeup look. I think it really highlights it and makes it pop a little bit. So, and yes, you can still pop after 40. Or even 50, why not? So, yes, I consider myself as popping, so whatever. I don't care what people say, and you shouldn't either. Do it for you. Do it for you. Very important. Okay, so I'm going to come to an end because I know, again, my videos are long. I know I just have so much to say. I really like talking, and I'm so happy that I have somebody to talk to. I know, crazy, but it's nice. It's nice talking to you all, whoever's listening. Okay, so I'm going to use my Ardell Remy lashes, and this is the color 778. And I use my duo glue, and I have my tweezers. I highly recommend getting you some lash tweezers. They're a big help. I used to wear long nails. As you see, I don't have any nails now. We gotta do makeup. Not makeup. We gotta do a manicure. And there I can talk some more. But that'll be another video. Where is my... Yes. Once again, I lost my train of thought. What is going on? I'm talking about age, and now I feel like, oh gosh, I'm forgetting. Okay, I'm just excited. Anywho, I'm gonna put these on, and then I'll be right back. Oh yeah, I know what I want to say. That happens to me often. I used to have long nails, and I used to put the eyelashes on myself with my nails, but now that I don't have any nails, I can't really put them on without. I mean, they were like a guideline for me, so now I use my tweezers. So I'm gonna apply these, and I'll be right back, and I'm gonna come back and put my lipstick on, and then I'm gonna get out of here and let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your day, evening, afternoon, and so on. I don't want to hold up your whole day, so I'll be right back. Okay, so got the eyelashes on, and I did it myself. Eyelashes, yes, they make a big difference. So this was a promotional brush, but I use this for highlighting in the corners of my eyes. So I'm gonna use Zam. Yes, Zam. Sounds like damn. So I just put that a little bit in, just a little bit. Corner. I feel like it's not really popping like I want it to. Yeah, there we go. Just a little bit. Eyes. I think eyes are very important. You really should invest in hooking up the eyes because they just look good. I don't care which age you are. I mean, if your eyes are looking, then they just tell a lot and they make a statement. So I like dramatic eyes. I mean, sometimes I like soft eyes, soft eye looks, but they definitely make you stand out, and it's sexy. Yes, sexy. And you can be old and be sexy and have dramatic looking, beautiful eyes and poppy makeup. Why not? Do not limit yourself. Just don't look crazy. Make it look classy, you know? Okay, so, and I like to put a little bit there. I feel like I don't see so much of the Zam. I don't want to put too much, but yeah, I think the eyes really should stand out. There we go, just a little bit. Not too much, but yes, they have to stand out. Okay, so I got some poppy lipstick. I don't know how this is going to work. We can try. This was like a promotional lipstick that I received from MAC. It was a special gift, so, and it's a really poppy color. And yes, I'm going to put a poppy color lipstick on because I can do that, and so can you. So don't feel bad as long as it don't look crazy. So I'm gonna try it on. If it looks crazy, I'm taking it off, and I'm gonna go back to my beauty, which is my standard, but I'm kind. I like to be bold with colors. I think it's okay. Yeah, why not? Come on now. I think it's okay. Well, I'm feeling it. Are you feeling it? I'm feeling it. That's what counts. Yes, I feel it. So, I like it. So. Voila. So, this is my final look. I'm feeling good. lipstick. Oh, and let me show you all what I have on today. These pants are from Zara, and this jacket is also from Zara, and this top is from H&M. So yes, I can still wear these young clothes and still feel good and still look classy and poppy, and so can you. So guys, I'm gonna close out now. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say and was able to take something from it. And just really important, be yourself, love you, and don't let people dictate to you how you should look and how you should feel, and put limits on you on the things that you can do, because remember, you're never too old. You can still go out and live a beautiful life, travel. You can still do the things kind of what you did when you were 20. I mean, why not? I mean, you can't be hanging out drunk and puking out in the public or anything, but you have fun, okay? Have fun, and don't worry. And if you like that dress and it's a little bit short, put it on, try it. If it looks good, why not? Don't let people put their insecurities or their limits on you, so just do it. Anywho, until next time, bye.